There's one of the major players, number 9, Galileo. Winner of 2 derbies, the English derby at Epsom, and then going on to win the Budweiser derby in Ireland. Taking it in his stride, Graham. Always has a little bit of sweat on just down his neck, but looks an absolute pitcher, and a credit to his trainer.
We know he's the best 3-year-old. We'll find out very soon if he's the champion of Europe. Just leaving there for the parade, number 9, Galileo.
The runners are making their way out onto the course for the parade. Before this, Group 1, King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes, worth £435,000 to the winner, £750,000 in total prize money. And number 1 is Chimes at Midnight, ridden by Wayne Smith, Luke Comer, the trainer and the owner. He won his first race for nearly a year last month at the Curragh, over 1 mile and 6. It's a sporting effort, but he hasn't got a serious chance of being placed in this. Number 2 is Fantastic Light, running for Godolphin, trained by Syed bin Saror. Frankie Dettori on board, and he's won nearly £3 million in prize money, this horse. A great advert for keeping older horses in training. The Emirates World Series champion, and looked very, very good at Royal Ascot in the Prince of Wales's. Godolphin think he's improved since then. Frankie is raring to go. Number 3 is the pacemaker for Godolphin. This is Give the Slip. He'll make the running, but he's actually a very, very good pacemaker. He could hang on there for a long time. He won the Tote Ebor over 1 mile and 6 furlongs last year. So how fast will he go? The tactics will be in the hands of Dara O'Donoghue. Number 4 is Golden Snake, a horse who was retired to stud and then brought back into training. He's been in great form, though, and won his 4th Group 1 race in France in April, and then made Fantastic Light fight all the way in the Tattersalls Gold Cup. He'd be right there if the ground was just a bit softer. This ground not in his favour. John Dunlop, the trainer, Pat Eddery on board. Number 5 is the very consistent French-trained High Tory. He runs well over any distance from 1 mile and 1 to 1 mile and 4 furlongs. He runs all over the world as well, and finished just over 3 lengths behind Fantastic Light here at Royal Ascot. He has points in the World Series for finishing 3rd in the Dubai World Cup. He's the only runner in the field with points already in that series. Number 6 is Millinery, trained by John Dunlop. Kieran Fallon on board this one, last year's St Ledger winner, who won the Jockey Club Stakes very easily and then ran below par when favourite for the Coronation Cup. He finished 3rd in that behind Musa Fawek. The strong pace in this race, though, will suit him, and he won't be far behind the leaders at any stage. Mutamam is the oldest horse in the race at 6 years old, but he hasn't got too many miles on the clock, and he has got good form. He finished ahead of Fantastic Light when he was 4th in the Breeders' Cup Turf, but Frankie on that occasion was all dressed up with nowhere to go on Fantastic Light. He's only had 1 run this season at Newmarket and won the Group 2 Princess of Wales's very easily. Number 8 is the second French-trained horse in the field. This is Anabar Blue, trained by Carlos Lerner, Christophe Soumillon on board, and this French Derby winner usually likes to make the running, but he won't be able to do that today. His sire was the top-class sprinter, Anabar. Mutamam just backing into Anabar Blue slightly, and behind him we have the odds-on favourite, 2-to-1 on favourite now from 7-to-4 on. This is Galileo, unbeaten, the dual Derby winner, who's bidding to become the first 3-year-old since Lamtara 6 years ago to win the King George. He won the Vodafone Derby and the Irish Derby in just scintillating style. And Mick Kinnan is going for back-to-back King Georges. Aidan O'Brien is going for his first. Mick just trying to settle him on the way down to the start. This is the pacemaker for Aidan O'Brien. This is Ice Dancer, who will also be up there with Give the Slip. Wasn't actually quick enough to make the running in the Irish Derby, so Paul Scallon will have to get him about his work, get him woken up early. This is Morshti, the Italian Derby winner, who improved on that to finish 2nd to Galileo in the Irish Derby. He stays well, he handles fast ground, he can certainly get placed. Philip Robinson's on board, Michael Jarvis, the trainer. And bringing up the rear in the parade, these 12 runners on their way down to post, and Storming Home is the only one we haven't seen, who looks as if he might just have broken the parade and got down there a bit earlier. Very, very good-looking horse, this, who finished 5th in the Derby and won the King Edward VII Stakes here in very good style. He's definitely improving, and Barry Hills has gone close a couple of times, but never actually won the King George. Michael Hills, who's on board, has. He won it on Pentower in 1996 and was 2nd the year before on the same horse. Those are the 12 runners for the 51st running of the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes.
A very high-class field here, 12 runners, one of the most interesting King George the 5th and Queen Elizabeth stakes we've had, I think, Graham. I thought, looking at the 12 runners, they all carry a lot of class, and there is one of the classiest little colts I've seen for a long time. Number 9, there he is, as usual, getting a little bit warm. If you remember, Graham, when we looked at him in the Derby, he was just beginning to sweat up like this. I think I'd be worried if he wasn't.
Well, I don't know. I think he's sweating up a bit more today. But, you know, the market, the money from the market to force him down to 2-1 on suggests that Coolmore are very confident indeed. And here's the one that's his principal market rival, Fantastic Light. Relatively cool. He's the old seasoned professional, done it all before, seen it all before. He's got to fight off the rising young star.
Beautifully balanced horse, this. He's got a terrific turn of foot. When Frankie presses the pedal, he usually finds quite a lot. He's been unlucky a couple of times in his races when he's been denied a run a little early, but when he gets his run, he's got a devastating turn of foot.
And round the back here, that's number 8, Anabar Blue, winner of the French Derby. And here's how he won at Chantilly last month. As you can see, he races prominently. He's not a great pace early on here, so he's able to lie out with them. And then in the closing stages, his jockey kicks for home. And on the run to the line, you have to say that Anabar Blue holds on really well.
As Claire pointed out a little bit earlier, he's by a sprinting horse himself, Anabar, but he's put a lot of stamina into this, or the mare has, out of a Riverman mare. And funny enough, Riverman was a miler himself, but he showed a lot of quality this day. I don't think quite the French Derby was up to the form of the English or the Irish.
Being loaded now. There going forward is Fantastic Light. Looks cool and calm, I have to say.
Be interested in what's going through the jockeys' minds at the moment. The 2 pacemakers will have to hit the gate running, because they'll have to get a lot of speed early on through the first 2 furlongs, because I think, funny enough, Galileo went down to the start very free in the hands of Mick Cannan. He'll be looking to tuck him in early and to reserve that finishing speed for the last 2 furlongs.
Right, just before they all go in, let's catch up with the very latest from Angus.
The public have really latched on to this Galileo. It is a public gamble. This is professional money, betting shop money, the lot. It's not just one person trying to have all his money on. This is a public gamble. Galileo 1-2, 7-2 Fantastic Light, 20-1 bar in the King George.
So this is the moment of truth. They're all set, 12 runners, set to go for the King George, under orders, and they're racing. And dropping back towards the rear early is High Tory and company with Chimes at Midnight, and Give the Slip, the Godolphin pacemaker, takes it up. Goes on by 2 lengths to Ice Dancer, up on the outside of Mudamam, and right there too is Galileo, and Anabar Blue is not that far away. They're 1.5 lengths to Golden Snake, and further back is Morsty as they sort themselves out from High Tory. Storming Home is on the inside of runners from Fantastic Light, 2 lengths to Millenary, and 1.5 lengths last of all is Chimes at Midnight. Charging downhill now past the mile into Quarter Gate, and it's Give the Slip and the white cap of Godolphin just showing the way here from Ice Dancer. The 2 pacemakers up doing their job well. Mudamama's taken up the box seat, 3rd on the inside of Golden Snake as they charge to Swinley Bottom. Further back in the field is Anabar Blue. Galileo, the favourite, is tucked in about 6th on the inside. Morsty in the yellow jacket on his outer. They're 1.5 lengths to Fantastic Light, and Frankie looks like he's going to keep an eye on Mick Cannan, who's 1.5 lengths in front of him. He looks like he'll almost track him as they head up the side. Further back in the field, Millenary from Storming Home. High Tory is right out the back as they continue the climb uphill, and Chimes at Midnight last of all. They've got under 6 furlongs to go in the King George, and Give the Slip and Ice Dancer being scrubbed up. Ice Dancer as Mudamam gets off the rail now and is out up on the outside of this pacemaker. Then Golden Snake with the hoop sleeves on the outside. Ice Dancer dropping back, and on the inside Galileo, his stablemate, is now moving out into an advantageous position about 4th on the inside of Morsty. Further back then is Anabar Blue. Fantastic Light is out wider on the track as they race towards the entrance to the home straight in the King George the 6th and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes, and it's Give the Slip still there from Mudamam. Galileo has now moved up, beautifully poised into 3rd, followed by Golden Snake, and behind them Anabar Blue. Then Morsty the outside. Storming Home is getting up on the rails. Further back then is High Tory, and Fantastic Light is taken to the outside. Heads a turn for Home. The split comes for Galileo. He takes picks it up now with just under 2 furlongs to travel. Here's Fantastic Light. The battle's on. It's Galileo the far side. Fantastic Light serving it up on the near side from Millenary, and then storming home. It's Fantastic Light and Galileo locked together. A furlong left to go. Galileo digging deep the far side. He's about a head in front. Fantastic Light can't get him. The 3-year-old's going to win it. Galileo triumphant in the King George. He gets up to beat Fantastic Light. Third photo there, Hytorian storming home, followed by Millenary, then Golden State behind them from Anabar Blue, Morsty, Mudamam, followed then by Give the Slip, Chimes at Midnight, and Ice Dancer last to finish. Well, what a race it was, the King George. It wasn't hype, it was the real thing. Galileo, challenged and headed a nostril or so by Fantastic Light, has shown the grit of a true champion to fight back and to beat Fantastic Light. A photo third, and it is number 5, Hytori, getting third, just ahead of Storming Home in fourth. Then in fifth is Millenary. A long gap then behind Millenary to Golden Snake, and they were followed by Anabar Blue. Behind them, Morsty, Mutamam, Chimes at Midnight, Give the Slip, who did his job so well, the pacemaker, behind them. But the winner of the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes of 2001 is number 9, Galileo, owned by Mrs. Sue Magner and Michael Tabor, trained by Aidan O'Brien and ridden by Mick Cannan. He joins a cavalcade of champions, which include Ribot, Nijinsky, Millreef, Dancing Brave, Generous, and more recently Swain, to have won this great midsummer feature at Ascot. And it is a 2-to-1 on favourite, as a 2-to-1 on favourite that he has done it, and it's an incredibly fast time, 2 minutes 27.71. 2 minutes 30 is standard time, so he's smashed that race. Let's check second and third. Second is number 2, Fantastic Light, owned by Godolphin, trained by Syed bin Sarur and ridden by Frankie Dettori. Fantastic Light's second consecutive second in this race. And third is number 5, Hytori, owned by Gary Tanaka, trained by Philip Demacastel and ridden by Gerald Mosse. Fourth is number 12, Storming Home. The distance is 2 lengths and 1 length, and the time is only 0.76 of a second outside the record.
Well, while Galileo parades in front of the stands, let's have another look at this. What a race and what a racehorse. I cannot believe how brave and gutsy he has been on this occasion. Very different to the 2 derbies that he won, because this time Fantastic Light really gave him a race. He came to him, he came right to him, he eyeballed him, and Galileo had to find a little bit extra. And like a champion racehorse, and only a champion racehorse can, he found that bit extra. An extraordinary performance. Fantastic Light is being cheered into the second place in the winner's enclosure. The racegoers here really appreciating what they have seen out there, because, Willie, these were 2 racehorses giving their all.
Yes, it certainly was, and jockeys as well. I would say that Mick just went to the front a little bit sooner than he wanted to, because he thought maybe Richard Hills on Mutaman would just hold him in, and he had to go and take the gap as soon as he could, because otherwise he might have had to wait too long. But there you can see that, you know, it's absolutely fantastic how he looked as though he was going to get beat by Fantastic Light. Either Fantastic Light stopped or Galileo found new reserves in the last half furlong. But as you said, Claire, that was a fantastic race to watch, and there's 2 fantastic racehorses. And actually, Gerald Moss might just be a little bit unlucky because he got stopped about a furlong from home.
Well, let's just enjoy this, because Galileo is about to turn into the winner's enclosure, and Jim, I fancy he is going to get one of the biggest receptions, one of the biggest cheers that we have ever heard here on King George Day.
Certainly, and deservedly so. The 26th winner, the 26th 3-year-old winner of the King George. There have been 25 older horses, and what a battle it was. This was the true test that he faced today. He had won the Derby at Epsom, he'd won the Irish Derby, but until he actually faced older opposition, there were always going to be skeptics. And there's Mick Cannan. What a dramatic 48 hours it's been for him. 2 days ago, he was appealing against a minor suspension for careless riding at Leopardstown. He had that appeal eventually dismissed, and then he went to the courts in Ireland. He gained an interim injunction which permitted him to ride today, and whatever it's going to cost in legal fees, it's been well worth it, because he has retained his association with a horse who today has been crowned a true champion of the turf. Majestic is the only way you can describe him. Look at that head. And the natural successor at Coolmore Stud to his father, his sire Sadler's Wells, who was second in this race in 1984. Sadler's Wells was also placed in the Prix de Jockey Club. He actually never won over a mile and a half, Sadler's Wells, but this year, what a triumph he's had. He had first, second and third in the Oaks, and he also had the Derby winner as well, Galileo. And there he is. If you're watching racing for the first time today, or you're only taking a passing interest, look at this horse and you see what it's all about. He is a true champion. Today he's shown that remarkable blend of speed, stamina, and also turn of foot and will to win. Every single facet of the game was tested today, and he's come up trumps.
First, number 9, Galileo, the 1-2 favourite, and it has landed a massive public gamble. Second, number 2, Fantastic Light, 7-2. Galileo winning by 2 lengths as Frankie eased down in the closing stages. There was a massive roar, and if you love your true sport, you've witnessed one of the great races. Galileo, 1-2 favourite. Fantastic Light, 7-2. And third, number 5, High Tory at 22-1. All 12 ran, and the exacta, that paid £3.
Well, let's have a look at the closing stages once again. And here is where the battle developed. Frankie had been sitting a length and a half behind Mick on Fantastic Light. They come inside the 2. Here's Galileo the far side, now being joined by Fantastic Light, and this is where the moment of truth came. Could he answer the challenge? There he is. He has to dig deep, the younger horse on the left. On the near side, it's Fantastic Light, the experienced older horse who campaigned all around the world. But Galileo has gone on, and he has retained his unbeaten record, winning his 6th successive race. Unbeaten in 6 starts. And there is Mick Cannan getting the congratulations of jockeys' valets. And all clear.
Now then, Mick, that all those trials and tribulations, all worthwhile.
Yeah,
this is the first words you're going to utter since it all happened.
It's been a stressful 10 days, I'd say.
Ever since that careless riding ban?
Yeah, you know, there was a lot of pressure on everybody once what happened on the night was put into place. For me, I had to make every effort to be here.
Well, you've made a great effort, and that was a great race to watch.
Yeah, I think so. You know, my horse is lovely. He's always in control of a race. He's always travels beautiful.
Did you go a little bit soon because of Richard Hills?
Yeah, I just didn't want to sit down and wait in there. Because if I waited that spot, I knew they're going to queue up around him.
You get boxed up?
Yeah, because the pacemaker had his job done and going to be in a no-win scenario. So I've had to move out, make an effort to ease my way out and get through. And he's actually idle when he got to the front.
Is he?
Yeah.
Did he get in front of you? Fantastic Light?
No, he drew up to me.
He came here very quickly.
Very quick, yeah. And Mindful just took him a few strides to the field, and then I just gave him the backhander, and he just kicked into gear, and it was over.
You didn't hit Frankie over the hand because he's come in with an injured hand. He's needing a doctor.
Is he? No.
You feel sorry for him, do you?
I'll console him now in a few minutes.
Anyway, what do you reckon to this horse? Is he the best you've ever ridden?
Yeah. Very few horses you go out and you know you're playing to all his strengths all the time. There's no weakness to him. And I've never ridden a horse like that before.
And one last question is, what about Point Given now? This is the American horse in America. You going to meet him?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I just turn up wherever this foot turns up.
Anyway, well done. Congratulations. Great race.
Thank you very much.
Well, Dan here's absolute bedlam in the winner's enclosure, and the calmest man I think of all is the successful trainer, Aidan O'Brien. This must rank as arguably your finest achievement as a trainer.
He's a serious horse, Jonathan. What was unbelievable about him today, the way he travelled through the race. And Michael said he was just like driving a motor car through the race. He was able to go where he wanted, and he went there and he sat, and he even let Frankie get upside him today and give him every to come on, you know. So he said, Michael said when he went from, he said there was loads there, you know.
Were you expecting him to be in front just as soon as he was?
I suppose they were after going very fast, and the gaps were coming, and Michael had to take the gaps because he was in, like he was 3 back on the rail, but he was very happy where he was all the time. So obviously when it came, Michael was happy to come and take them rather than take any chance with him and get them locked in, you know.
Well, all week it's been billed as a duel, and for a moment as they raced eyeball to eyeball, it looked as though it was going to end like that. But in the last furlong, your lad simply ran away from him in a manner which I think few of us have seen before. Arguably one of the finest performances ever seen in this race.
Yeah, Michael said what was unbelievable about him. He went there, and Michael just went there and way ahead, and the other horse came beside him, where both of them had chances, and then, so it wasn't as if he just flashed away. The two of them got together, and then at the furlong marker, he says, come on now, we'll go. I was impressed with him, the way he travelled through the race and was able to use all the gaps and the tactical early speed he had.
Sometimes before his races he got very warm. Were you worried about that today?
I know, it's just very warm here today, and everyone, he was warm today, but I think a lot of horses were warm. I would have no worry.
And I would say he's had a harder race here, certainly than in either of the derbies. He'll know tomorrow that he's had a race. We know just about how good he is. Will you give him a little rest and bring him back for an autumn campaign?
Well, that was probably the first race he really had. So I'd say he'd have learnt a lot today. That he won the 2 derbies, he quickened at the 2 marker and got 4 lengths on the horses and won the 4 lengths where Michael was steadying him the last furlong. But today he had to go and race, and he went to the furlong marker and he had to go and race from the furlong marker, which was very good for him. So but the plan was always today was to come back and go to the Irish Champion Stakes after today. So hopefully he's okay tomorrow.
We can't wait to see him again. Thank you very much and very well done.
Thanks.
Well done,
Thank you.
Here they are again, the final stages, inside the final furlong, and Galileo, the far side. It looked from certain angles as if Fantastic Light may have just got a nostril in front of Galileo. Mick was saying that he drew level. There's Frankie looking over his shoulder. He concedes now. He can see that the 3-year-old is superior and goes on to win well.
Well, sometimes you just know that you've been in the presence of greatness, and I think everyone in this winner's enclosure feels it now. The man who owns a share in this horse is Michael Tabor, having won back-to-back King Georges. He had Mangeux last year, but a very different experience this year with Galileo. Oh, what a race!
Absolutely. I always said that Fantastic Light had improved so much from last year, whereas last year I was very confident with Mangeux because I didn't think there was enough opposition. I knew this was something to beat. And he proved what a gutsy horse he is, and indeed I think he was just headed, but I wouldn't be 100%
He was
sure.
definitely eyeballed,
yeah,
as the Americans would say.
As they would say, but he showed his guts and determination, and in the end he won going away.
Now, you're a sportsman, you're a competitor. How much more did you enjoy that because the challenge was so big?
Oh, absolutely. That's what it's all about, the challenge. It makes the adrenaline flow, and that's what you need.
There was a comment in the Racing Post, actually, that said that if your pulse isn't quickened by this race, you must be dead.
Well, if you're not nervous before this, forget about it, as they say.
And now what for the horse? I mean, after that, he may just need a bit of a rest.
Oh, he will do. I suppose the Irish Champion, and then the Breeders' Cup Classic, all things being well, which is obviously a very difficult task because, as I said, you're going to America in their backyard, and that's so tough, and on dirt, which we're not used to. And likewise, if Point Given came here, under our set of circumstances, it would be very tough for him. So it's something to savour anyway, and we'll enjoy it, hopefully.
Over the years with racing, you proved yourself a very shrewd man, a very lucky man. Do you now feel a very proud man because of this horse?
I think you have to be proud if you're not proud with a horse like this, because he is the ultimate. He's the ultimate because he's got the pedigree to die for, he's got the confirmation, and now he's done it on the track. So when you get those 3 things, you've really achieved it.
Well, I think we've all seen something spectacular today. Can't wait to see him in action again.
Absolutely.
Well done, Michael.
Thank you very much.
Well, down here, Frankie Dettori is just telling us how much he enjoyed the race. Obviously, he would have enjoyed it more if he'd won. But it takes two to make a horse race, and fantastic light, and yourself certainly played your part.
Yeah, I must say the race lived up to everybody's expectation, and it was a good quality field. We went to very good pace throughout. And a 2-furlong marker, basically it was myself and Galileo, and we made a race of it. And I got to upsides him, I probably put my nose in front for a couple of strides. And then basically when we passed the furlong marker, the weight started to tell, and my horses started to get a little bit tired, and Galileo, with the weight advantage, as a great horse as well, he just pulled away. And you know, it's a shame that I didn't win, but we gave everything we had.
Well, Frankie, when you got that great run out of Fantastic Light and you moved up alongside, did you think then he might sustain that run and go on and win it?
Yeah, well, obviously, you know, I was going to have a fight in my hands, because I saw Mickey never really asked any serious question yet. And when I got upsides him and he asked his horse to go, we stayed together for a while, and like I said, in the end they just drew away. And I mean, it was a great opportunity for him, and what a great horse. And you know, we wish him the best in the future. I'm sure we'll meet again with less weight allowance, and we'll make another good race of it.
Well, that has been a great day, and I know you enjoyed it. We certainly did.
Thank you.
Well
We'll
done,
be
Frankie.
back.